Well, we're taping a little bit late here for YouTube, but this is for Wednesday, April 26, 2017. Today's word is dig. 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 Yeah, dig. Let's take a look around and see what we can find here. How about this? Down here and way up here, I've been digging to get to the roots of these. It was basically like a weed, but you know, some of these weeds grow, and I'm watering and cutting, and I haven't done much cutting. This one just fell out, this one, and these I'm probably going to do a little bit more digging right now, and then I'll do a little bit more of the hydro work, and I've got to get these out because this piece of land is getting prepped for a sheet of concrete that's going to come out. So I've been digging like a madman, just digging. It's crazy. Digging is a preparation. Take a look at I have the 2x4s in the back here. This will be the back of the shop. And then on this side, there's going to be flower beds, and I've already put the bulbs in, and those will become beautiful flowers at some time. And I've got everything marked 20 foot to the pole. And over here on this end, there's a discrepancy. I'm glad I measured because the alley disappears. In here, the alley just disappears. So the asphalt ends a little early. But this is exactly 20 feet. It's perfectly straight. And back this way, I'll put another flower bed out this way, and the flower beds will be for the bamboo or the eugenia or whatever I decide to put on the sides here. But in here will be the new shop office complex, and everything from the Casa del Green is going to end up landing right here. It'll all be right here. So what's the gist of today? What are we talking about today? I'm physically digging ditches. I'm digging holes. I'm putting things together in such a way that they're level and straight. Right here, here's a little collectible. We've been finding things from the 1890s. This is some sort of little. We've been collecting these little bits of glass and things. I remember doing the same thing when I was putting together Casa del Green. And here's our level, and we'll take a look here, and it's about as level as it needs to be. It needs to be a little bit of a slant because of the fact that we got to have the water drainage, and of course from the top going down, I want it to be a nice incline. So this is basically going to be a giant patio, and I want the water to be able to wash off. I don't want it to be so level that the water just sits there. I've seen that time and time again, where people build something and then it's so level that they're stuck. They've got puddles. Even a really nice home that I know of in San Marino, they had the guy come out, and the guy did all the brickwork, and he did a really bang-up job. Looked beautiful, but right in the middle of it all was a puddle, and I just always like, huh. And I saw people do work on another house up in Highland Park, and the deck was like this far over the top of the house where it goes into the room. So whenever there's a rain, it was always like, So on that far side, I'm making sure that the flower bed is really nice and deep down low. Over here, I'm going to dig all this out. This is where the chickens will be. We're going to have the chickens and the ducks and the turkeys over on this side. And my goal is to be able to hose off the debris, clean it up and then hose it down, and it'll go into the flower beds here. So I want to make sure they're nice and deep and ready to go. But how do we do this in the spirit? What's the deal in the spirit? The Lord wants us to be able to dig in deep. And I've heard Judah talking lately, Judah Smith from City Church, about how we as believers need to be established, and we need to be stable, and we need to be really secure. Well, if I did kind of a halfway job here, it wouldn't be such a good job. Over here you can see that we're pretty well level. This side need a lot more dirt. I always think I need dirt down there, but not so much, more over here. And I'm going to do a good job at preparing and placing the forms in such a way. I'm creating here a place, and it involves a lot of work. When we're working with God on our spirit, on our own lives, it takes some digging. Maybe going to the therapist and digging in. I showed you something here a day or two ago where I'd lost a tooth as a kindergartner, and it dawned on me that I can be I'm a pretty crazy guy. I'm pretty annoying, and now it's a crime. If you get convicted of annoying someone, it can be really bad. It's like, but as I was a kid, I must have annoyed somebody, because they took a slug at me and knocked out my tooth, and I just dawned on me. I was digging deeper than I'd ever dug before. I thought, wow, I've always been a character. I've always been some kind of I remember as a little kid, I would ask questions. I would, why, how come? I was always asking questions. So that today, you can see I'm here's my beautiful fence from South America there. It's a great little fence. What happens is the BMW dealer, they have these pallets. They have a motorworks right behind us here. That's what this big building is behind us. And they have a pallet. I'd never seen it before, but I was digging in deeper to my understanding, and that's part of what we're digging into it also. But I saw a motorbike on the pallet. Here's the pallet. You never saw a pallet like this. What's this big hole in here? How come they got all this space? Well, because the front wheel sits here and the back wheel sits here and here. And then they have straps. They have the straps, plastic straps, that tie the bike down there. And so this is the actual pallet. Well, I took these same pallets, you can see them here, and here's the front wheel, and there's the back wheel, and I used a series of these pallets to construct this temporary wall, because we had fencing, and I took all that down here to make room. And on Saturday, I'm hoping on Saturday we're going to be able to pour the concrete, and we'll get it going, and that'll be awesome. I've still got some work to do. I've got to go get one more of these 2x6s, and so this is the practical of a physical job. I'm physically moving, dude. I'm physically working here, and it's a big job. It's amazing that at almost 60 years old, here I am. I'm digging. It's crazy. And people are telling me, well, you ought to just go and hire some people to do it. Yeah, if I was Rockefeller, I could do that if I was the multi-millionaire. Oh yes, and a little tea, please. I mean, who's drinking tea? I got my Bubba here, and it's full of icy cold iced tea. So the Lord wants us not to be naive. He doesn't want us to be shallow. He wants us to dig deep. These two roots here, if I didn't take those out, those would become problems later. Why don't you just smooth the concrete over? No one will ever know they're there. Well, they're going to become cavities. And then just like in your teeth, if you have a cavity, it's going to be a hollow space. And then all of a sudden, one day, when we least expect it, everything will cave in, and there'll be a big, because those tree stumps, they're not gonna be able to hold up like dirt and rock and solid. We need a nice solid foundation. And my family was like, well, gee, Bob, I didn't think about that. And yet I knew that from prior experiences. And then I had a contractor come by and take a look at the job, and he said, you got to get the stumps out. I said, I know, it's on my list. It's on my list. And then on the sides here, if I just had the dirt just up high, you can see, I'll show you here. I'll show you. It's look at this dirt. It's up over the fencing. I want the dirt to be under the fencing, because if dirt's up over fencing, it's going to rot the fencing out. Eventually that will rust out, and then of course, it makes the fence. Take a look. I mean, we want the fence to be taller than me, not shorter than me, because you know it is 2017. And I also worked on the neighbors here. I cleared things out and I swept everything over. You can see there's some debris over there. And then I swept over this way, cleaned this part as much as I could. So, and I cleaned the alley out. I figured that one of these days we have our open house hospitality potluck that we will. And there's a big parking lot just right next door, so we'll be able to have a lot of fun. We can put up a badminton net right there and have some fun with some badminton. You know, just kind of clip it up there, and that'll be fun. Have badminton going on, and it'll be nice because it won't be going over the fence like it used to. We used to always, it's over the fence. So this way it'll be right here. It'd be nice, you know. So there's benefits to digging deep. There's benefits to looking at things deeply and to being reflective and to and of course we can't just do it on our own, because we can dig into a nowhere zone. We can just dig like a chicken. And the chickens are just scratching and digging anywhere. They don't have a plan. They don't have a mission. They're not trying to really build anything. You know, the Lord hasn't given them that gift. They're not there to build anything. Chickens never came together. And you know, remember Planet of the Apes? You know. Animals do have a little tiny, they can use a tool. Apparently ravens or crows, they're very, very smart. They'll bring you those shiny things if you want. But human beings, we have a sense of a soul and a sense of purpose, and we know right and wrong. So I know it's not right to leave those stumps there. And look at all this dirt. I mean, this dirt has got to be, I haven't measured it, but well, why don't you measure it, Bob? Okay, I'll measure it. All right. You don't have to convince me. Let's see how deep that is. You know, and remember, I just want to smooth out the pavement a little bit. I just want to smooth it out real quick. I just wanted to put some concrete in. I wanted to do it quick. Well, guess what? You can't do things right and be quick. How am I going to do this? Let's see. I guess if I threw this into the pit, let's see. How am I going to do this? Give me a second. I'm going to figure this out here. Here we go. All right, let's see. So I'm going to take the tape measure here. Hope I don't lose you. Okay, so in my, this isn't even the deepest point, but all right. So it's I would say at least 3 feet, 3.5 feet deep here, the pit. And so I've had to dig down a long way to get to the place where I'll be able to deal with these roots. Because if I don't deal with the roots, root cause, the root problems, then I'll have more trouble. Now, you know, you could be crazy and just go through and I'm going to get out every single little stick and I'm going to sift the ground. And I had a neighbor that did that. He was a nice guy. And he was out there and everybody thought he was a little bit shy of a full combo plate, because he was out there sifting. He spent, you know, a long time. I'm not going to be that picky about it, because I realize that we're just sojourners here. We're not going to be here forever. And this concrete patio, I mean, in 50 years, somebody probably say, you know, we don't want a patio here. We want to just have a farm out here, you know, whatever. I need to have the concrete. I need to have a place to put my files, my pictures, build a little workshop. So that's what I'll be doing here. Well, what are you doing in your life today? How are you digging in? What are you working on? Are you digging into your education? You're digging into your spiritual life? You're digging into your marriage life? You're digging into your family life? You're digging into your career? Whatever you're doing, let's dig in with all of our heart. Let's do our very best job. This is certainly showing you I'm digging in with all my heart. I mean, I'm just like, it took me all day yesterday to get that all dug out and hosed out and done. If you want to talk more, let's have a conversation. Give me a call, 213-713-8954 or 8954green at att.net, on the Twitter at Mr. Bob at BobBob8954, and of course you're watching Bob's Daily Devo. Bob's Daily. I have someone write to me earlier today, said, "Are you still doing the YouTube?" I say, "Yep," but it's no longer passing me by. Now it's Bob's Daily Devo. Tune in. Thumbs up. Love ya.